Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this week's episode of Roundabout Sports presented by Interstate 70 Sports Media, where our passion is our profession. Of course, by Harsh Construction LLC, the solutions for all of your harsh problems with over 50 years combined experience in the field of construction, landscaping, and renovation. Be sure to call for a free quote today at 618-363-9818. That is 618-363-9818. Harsh Construction LLC. And by Crispy Clean Lawn Care, brush and junk removal. Be sure to call at 618-593-2997. 618-593-2997. Crispy Clean Lawn Care, brush, and junk removal. Yes, folks, this is no April Fool's joke. It is Wednesday, April 1st, 2026. I am the Maestro, Jeremy Carpenter. Alongside me is my dear friend and co-host, the one and only Adam Frecks himself. How's it going, buddy?
What's going on, brother? What's going on, everybody? What a great day in St. Louis today, huh?
Yeah, great day as far as sports goes. Terrible day as far as weather goes. And I don't know how it is out there in KC, but it has been storming all day long out here.
Yeah, we got it through the night. It was actually a pretty nice day. It was a wet day, but it was a lot of rain. But
a lot of rain.
Relatively nice day.
Okay, well, I'm glad to hear it on your end. Yeah, these past couple days have been absolute hell when it's come to the weather. With that said, so for those that don't know, this is episode 170 of Roundabout Sports, so I'm really excited about that, first of all. Second of all, as always, Roundabout Sports, for those that don't know, can be found on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Pocket Cast, Amazon Music, basically any and all of the streaming platforms out there that you have. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, on X, and on the official Interstate 70 Sports Media YouTube channel. That is where you can find the STL Hockey Fan Podcast, where you can find Issues with Wrestling with Christopher Miles and Jared Shannon, where you can find the Blues Fan Forum Podcast, and eventually in May you will find Mind Over Noise, with Jared Shannon and a co-host to be named later. So a lot of great shows on there, a lot of great content on there, new every week, almost actually every day. So be sure to go and check us out. Moving right along. So I'm not going to lie. As if my bracket, I wanted to kick it off with the NCAA here because I'm not going to lie, Adam. If my bracket wasn't already busted and kicked around enough as it was, UConn beating Duke was the absolute dagger because that was my runner. Duke was my runner-up. So,
Especially to lose your runner-up in the fashion that they did. With the ball in their possession with less than 5 seconds.
Insane. What an unbelievable, practically nearly a buzzer beater for UConn. Now, more things to be excited about in this Final Four, though, because obviously you got UConn taking on the Illini, number 2 versus number 3. And then you got number 1 Arizona taking on number 1 Michigan. So here's my thing. The Illini, this is the first time since 2005 they've been in the Final Four. Overall, I'm just really taking a look at this Illinois team. I see that they can really shut down Braylon Mullins on UConn. I mean, at the grand scheme of things, I mean, I'm going with Illini here because let's just face it. The Illini doesn't foul. They do not commit a lot of penalties. They do not commit a lot of fouls. They also keep it very minimal in the turnover department, which worked in UConn's favor against Duke, but will probably be their undoing. And Illinois, to me, is the better rebounding team. So overall, I mean, I think when you match up a lot of things between UConn men's basketball and the Illini, I'm gonna have to go with the Illini in this matchup. What do you think? Who you got on this?
Was it Underwood's Illinois coach? Who's Illinois?
Mm-hmm.
Underwood?
Brad Underwood.
Brad Underwood. Dude, elite level coach. He's been so underrated really his whole career. And I believe he's he was born in Kansas. Hayes, I believe. So the Illini is coached well. UConn's always good. They're UConn, right? They're playing UConn.
Yes.
Hurley's a madman. Hurley, he's a great coach too, man. I don't know if I had to pick, I'll go with the guys who have been there, and then I'll have to go with Hurley.
Ooh, okay. So we got on my end, we got UConn or the Illini going on to the championship, whereas you, of course, have UConn. That's fine. So that brings us to the battle of the number ones, the only two surviving one seeds left, that being Arizona versus Michigan. Now, we already know our very own AB, Austin Bradley, is watching on, and he is definitely pulling for Michigan in every way, shape, form. I'm just going to say this right now. Jaden Bradley is an absolute beast in the paint for Arizona at point guard. Generational size and power. That said, I mean, I think Michigan is the better team shooting the 3-point shot. I think they're definitely a better 3-point shot team. And I like Elliot Cadeau, if I believe I pronounced his last name properly. Really intense player. He actually is shooting 38%, I believe, at the 3-point line, which isn't terrible when you really think about it. So we really have to take a look at this. This is going to come down to one thing. If Michigan can keep Arizona off the offensive glass, like and away from the paint, there's no stopping Michigan. Arizona's screwed.
I couldn't disagree more, brother. I couldn't disagree. I think Michigan's about to get worked.
Really?
Arizona, absolutely. Arizona has been the best team. They started out 23-0, and I believe their first loss was to Kansas.
Yes.
But through the beginning of the season up until now, they've been the best team. And it's just Arizona is so deep. They're so deep, veteran, and they got young guys. The Cole Pete, future top 5 pick probably coming up in the draft. This is Arizona. I thought going into this was Arizona's tournament to win. This was their year to win it. Because I think they got the best team in the nation.
Okay. Well, I mean, they are one of the number ones for a reason. And, the funny thing is, Michigan opened up as a 1.5-point favorite versus Arizona. So it is there is a very good chance as we're getting closer to Saturday's tip-off, you could see that switching in favor of Arizona. A lot of people I know do have Arizona going to the title game and winning it all.
This may also be where regional bias comes in, because I watch more Big 12 basketball than I do anything else, and I don't watch a lot of Big 10 basketball. So that this may be regional bias, but I've watched Arizona play so many times this year, man, and they're gritty, they're tough. They're not even looking to shoot a lot of threes. They're looking to just throw it in your face, play good team basketball. So yes, I may be a little bit biased when I say Arizona.
You know what? That's okay. I totally understand. Meanwhile, not only is my fiance tuning in, but apparently so is my 2-year-old daughter. So I'm very grateful. So hi to them. And folks, always Send in your comments, questions, anything you got for us, shoot it our way. So it's funny, we got completely different Final Four results and championship matchups. So I'm really excited for heading into episode 171 when that happens, when we talk about the championship and who ends up being faced off in it.
Right.
So
who do you have winning the championship? That would be the thing. I know who you got in there. Who do you have winning it?
I got Michigan. I have Michigan winning it.
What has you on Michigan like that?
Honestly,
just hot right now. Just how they look right now.
The momentum. I think they've been. I mean, it's the hot momentum. But honestly, the Illini is starting to really kind of get in my head. Like, okay, maybe they can pull off something amazing here, because nobody expected the Illini to be in the Final Four, up to this point. So
right.
But you also talked about regional bias. I think it's also, I do see more Michigan games than I have Arizona Wildcat games, so, and of course I see more Illini games. So I think that just also kind of plays into what my sample size is. That's obviously not to say Arizona's bad or anything. They literally are right on the verge. They could easily win on Saturday and nobody would and a lot of people wouldn't be surprised. It's a very even battle back and forth.
I just hope for two good games, because I think a lot of times the Saturday before the championship's kind of the better day for basketball, because sometimes the national championships it ends up as a disappointment.
I think so too, because part of it's also, it's just, and this is gonna sound weird, a lot of people might, I think it's just because it's one game. I think part of the whole thing of the whole March Madness is the fact that you get so many games, and let's put it like this. I think of the Final Four as AFC and NFC Championship Sunday. And the national championship game like the Super Bowl. And sometimes the Super Bowl can be a disappointment from a gameplay perspective, just like the national championship can be. So
it's pretty much all sports that have single elimination.
Yeah, single eliminations usually leave a lot of people with more to be desired, just because of the concept of, damn, that's it. And
unless it's a great game, and then it's like having a game 7 that's just a spectacular game.
Well, you know what they say, there is no better game than game 7.
I agree.
Which is absolutely true in my opinion. I love it. It's the two best words in sports. So moving on now from, I guess you say, from something that's super positive, super exciting, to kind of just makes you shake your head. And that is Tiger Woods. Okay. So this is my thing. You're in your late 30s, early 40s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm 30. I'm going to be 31 in June. We both know if we were under the influence, we would definitely call someone or make an arrangement to where we wouldn't drive home.
So just with the amount of money that he has.
We don't have the money that Tiger Woods has. So why is this 50-year-old man not getting the hint after the first time this has happened to do it the second time? And
you know what it is, man. This ain't the first time he's done it. This ain't the second time he's done it. So it's something that you perpetually get away with. You're like, oh, I'm okay. I've drove like this before. So that's kind of where a lot of times people get into those situations. The thing is like, man, you have so much money, you never have to ever chance anything.
Now, I will say to his, and I don't even want to say to his credit in the sense, because none of this should have happened. But I will say that this just came out earlier today that a federal judge, a judge in Florida, granted Tiger Woods' request to travel outside the United States and enter a comprehensive inpatient treatment program. Because, and according to his attorney, Doug Duncan, he made the motion to travel because of the golfer's urgent need for, quote, an intensive, highly individualized, and medically integrated program, and most importantly, privacy from the media and public scrutiny. So, it once again, good on him for going out and getting this treatment. But I digress. You shouldn't have put yourself in a position where you have to go out and get this treatment to begin with.
So this is where I'll kind of, I'll just growing up in the inner city, man, you come around a lot of addicts. So I don't want to excuse anybody's behavior, but there's, I don't know, there's a darkness that goes to with addiction. So, and at this point, I would assume that he has to have some kind of addiction to something. So, and once again, it's not to excuse people's behavior.
Right.
But there's always like that two side. There's always that human element of why people do dumb things. So, uh, it's a tight line to walk. You know what I mean? It's a tight line to walk on, just like completely slamming him. There's one of those things, like if it's your boy, you're like, hey, dude, get your head out your ass. Let's get it together. But you're also going to be like, all right, we're going to get through this together. So the difference is he's a popular celebrity, and just everybody's going to put even including us, everybody's going to put their opinion out. And it's usually negative, all negative. Just it's not nuanced.
Yeah, and a lot of it, once again, it is like the whole, they always say the court of public opinion. And,
Yeah.
And the judge felt that this was because, keep in mind, Tiger Woods pleaded not guilty to the misdemeanor charges filed against him yesterday. Now, the judge granted this because he feels this is also the best course of action for Tiger Woods to get the help. And if it's an addiction that he is truly dealing with, which it very well could be, then this is the opportunity for him to get the help that he needs. And you mentioned about him being such a high-profile celebrity. In a weird way, this could also be beneficial for those, I don't want to say average Joes, but just those of us who aren't popular celebrities that struggle with an addiction or something of the sort, and use it as a motivator or as a source of inspiration to be like, hey, we want to stray. We don't want to go down a dark path that we can't get out of, or, go down a road that leads to a dead end, so.
But it's definitely one of those things. It's one of those things because, like, the first time, so not that it was funny, but the first time, the amount of acrimonious things that happened with his wife and the golf clubs, and the cheating that went with it, and then the DUI. So there was enough time that had passed, and now it is the court of a public opinion. You do it again, and then you don't get the ha funnies this time.
I was gonna say, I think at the first time, especially because of some of the things that happened around it, there was some, like you said, the ha funnies. As time goes on, as you get older, I mean, he's 50 years old. At some point, man, get a freaking driver.
The thing is, you got the money. People, so this is kind of where I don't know, like, his personality or just what he is, but maybe he likes to party at 50. And I know plenty of 50-year-olds who are responsible and they like to get drunk. But it's the craziest thing is you have all the money to either Uber. You could literally pay somebody to come pick you up in your own vehicle and take you home. So it's one of those things where maybe what did he get? Was it alcohol or was it pills? Because I know he had something happen with pills, ain't it?
Yeah, and I also want to reiterate something for everybody here. that DUI, and I cannot stress this enough, a DUI does not mean just alcohol.
Right.
Like when you're driving under the influence, it can be of pills, it can be of, any other type of narcotics, it can be alcohol. So I mean, the charges for Tiger Woods were it was a misdemeanor DUI, driving under the influence with property damage, and his refusal to submit a urine test following the rollover crash. And there were he did not have any alcohol in his system, but there were the police detected signs of drug impairment. And like I said,
he could have been on pills, and sometimes I don't know if you ever met somebody who was an addict on downers. They seem as if they're drunk a lot of times. So
yeah. And he says he was distracted. His defense was he was distracted by his phone. That was Tiger Woods' defense.
Yeah. And don't look at your phone. You're driving.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's
so the thing I can't do is the excuses like that. Like, you know what I mean? So, and that's where like you'll definitely lose the court of public opinion is when you're like, well, I was distracted by my phone. It's like you just have to eat this one, brother. So
I was gonna say,
got to get better. But when you start using excuses, that kind of will strip down kind of any type of leniency, I guess somebody may have towards the situation.
And you know what? We talked about this isn't the first time, this isn't the second time. It's not even the third time. This is the fourth vehicle related incident with Tiger Woods since 2009. You had the DUI arrest in 2017, which was reduced to reckless driving. Then his car crashed 5 years ago, and now this. So, like, fourth time, man. Fourth time.
Yeah, well, it just kind of tells you, man, it's the thing. So it doesn't sound like any of them's really been alcohol. So, and at that point,
it's not alcohol. That's good. It's not alcohol. I'm glad he's not, an alcoholic in that sense.
I agree, but so it's kind of like, okay, your prescription's just like, I don't know, man. That's such a slippery slope of like, are you inducing too much or you're this new medicine chemically throwing you off? So it's just, yeah, man, it's a multitude of things.
It is. Like, oh, and once again,
sorry for language, but
no, you're good. And once again, he's going out of the country somewhere to seek treatment away from the media and all the public scrutiny and all that good stuff. So, what's crazy though, and this is just my last thing, is the fact that he refused the urine test. Yes, you have, I'm pretty sure you have the right to refusal.
Yeah.
You have the right to refuse a urine test. Does it make it more suspicious? Yeah, but he does have that right. So, but I digress. Moving right along now here on episode 170 of Roundabout Sports. MLB season is in full swing. And every week, for most of last season, I did a segment on this show. It was originally just a one and done meme, and then it became more popular than I thought it would, and so I decided to make it a weekly thing. Well, baseball season ended, so I turned it to the Jets. Well, now that baseball season's back, it's time to bring back my favorite segment here on Roundabout Sports. That is, just how much do the Colorado Rockies suck? Oh, man, the Colorado Rockies. I'll say this, at least their fan base is better than the Miami Marlins. But, man, the team can't say the same for them. The Colorado Rockies, they won today, believe it or not, 2-1 against the defending American League champion Toronto Blue Jays. So the Toronto Blue Jays will be shutting down operations as of tomorrow. The Rockies are now 2-4 on the season after having a terrible start to the year, getting swept by the Marlins. They actually took 2 of 3 from Toronto, including one in which they scored 14 runs. Then they play the Phillies, the Astros, and the Padres, so I'm sure they will be brought back down to reality. So it's short, it's sweet. We're 6 games in, but the bottom line is the Colorado Rockies, I don't have high expectations for them, but based on how they did last season when they went an impressive oh my gosh. Hang on. Let me
43 and 119.
Yeah, I was gonna say 43 and 119, and boy, oh boy, it was fun. Every minute of it was fun. And of course, let's not forget the year before when they won 61 and 101. So, at least they're a model of consistency bad. I have one funny thing to say, though. There is one saving thing about the Rockies. They averaged 30,000 fans at home games last year. That is the most of all professional baseball teams in the state of Colorado.
That can't be right. The Broncos.
I said baseball teams.
Oh, baseball team. Oh, sorry. You had me thrown off or something. I was like, wait. Hold on.
Of every pro baseball team in Colorado, the Rockies had the highest attendance.
This is true. You said it's 30,000 though?
Yeah.
That's a legit number? No way that's legit. 30,000?
Apparently they averaged 30,000. I mean, I also think that, let's also keep in mind how they track these tickets sold as opposed to actual gate entry.
Right.
So
but even with that, man, with how bad they are, they probably would have at least 20,000 showing up. And Colorado historically is one of the worst franchises in my whole life.
And I do have the number, so I'm honest to God true. The Colorado Rockies had 2,404,613 fans last year, which averages out from 29,687 to just over 30,000.
You know why that's so impressive? The
16th in baseball. That is 16th in baseball last year. So we're going to do this. Hang on, because this segues, of course, into our baseball talk. We're going to start with your neck of the woods, that being the Kansas City Royals. We're going to see what the Royals' total attendance was.
I think it was a little over 2 million.
In 2025. So I'll tell you this right now. We're going down the list. And man, oh man, both of us should be extremely disappointed because not only are the Royals below the Rockies, but so are the Cardinals.
Really? St. Louis is?
Yes. St. Louis. The Cardinals had fewer fans last year than the Colorado Rockies. And here, and it's not, I'm not going to say it's super far. It's kind of far. So,
man, I thought you guys were a baseball town. What happened?
That could cause the law. The Kansas City Royals finished 25th with 1,748,808. They averaged 21,000 fans a game. The Cardinals finished 19th with 2,250,007. an average 27,000-ish fans a game. For record, for the benchmarks, the highs and the lows, the top team was the Los Angeles Dodgers, who had 4,012,000 fans in attendance last year, averaging 50,000 fans a game. I want you to guess the worst team with attendance.
Tampa Bay.
Man, you are so close. So close. So I have to, I guess, do Tampa Bay's for you. Tampa Bay finished 29th with 786,750.
Wow, they didn't clear a million? It'd be Miami?
Nope. Miami cleared a million. Not by a whole lot, but they cleared a million. The Athletics. Now, here's the thing. Sense. I want you to really keep this in mind. Both teams did not play at a Major League Baseball stadium last year. The hurricane damaged Tropicana Field, and the A's got screwed over in Oakland. So
right, they played in Sacramento last year, right? They playing. Yeah. Where are they playing this year? Do you know? Because I know they were going to Vegas, but I've also heard there's been hiccups with that.
So they are apparently Las Vegas Ballpark will be used as their home stadium for a few games. But it is their second year in West Sacramento.
Okay.
So, and it's called Sutter Health Park, which has a capacity of 10,000 fixed seats, 14,000 including standing room.
They're just in a dead beat position. There's nothing they can do until they find.
I was going to say, the fact they got what they did is impressive. Yeah. Considering all the Rays, though, come on.
Well, it's I think it's in St. Petersburg.
Well, yeah, but but here's the thing. Look at the Rays historically, even before the hurricane hit.
That's why it was my first guess. Was like typically the Rays, even going back to when.
The only year I remember them ever having great attendance was when they went to the World Series in 2009.
Yeah, BJ Upton, I believe.
Yeah,
or Justin Upton, one of the two.
Yeah, and Evan Longoria and
the
Phillies ended up kicking their ass. But here's my thing. We talk about the Royals. They've never been known for drawing the biggest crowds, but they have the loyal Royals fan base. You know that.
Yeah. So it's that 20,000. It's about like what's going to be regular attendance. And then what it is, you got the big games that they'll sell out the 40,000s. Other than that, man, it's really proximity. Like I know everybody loves Kauffman, but the proximity just it's not great. So it's not one of those things. Hey, let's go to a game.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I mean, because out here, like obviously, it's Busch Stadium's in core downtown. So you're gonna have everybody from the West or the Metro East coming into the game, whereas Kauffman kind of far out, away from core downtown, Gas and Lights district, and like a lot of the more populated suburban areas in the Kansas City area. So I guess that makes sense. That said, it does amaze me the Cardinals finished 19th because even though their season, I mean, they didn't do good by any means last year. Damn. That's insane to think about, though.
Oh, it pains me to say this, but I'll say it. It surprises me that you guys are ranked that low because you guys are some of the best fans in baseball.
Well, thank you. I mean, there's a lot to be excited about this time around. Now, I'm going to give credit, and I hope they're higher on this. I'm disappointed. The Pirates were ranked below the Royals in attendance. I've always wanted to go to a game at PNC Park because, man, let me tell you, that stadium is beautiful.
Yeah, it's
Like,
beautiful on
yeah,
television.
yeah, you
But
see the view of the skyline and everything. Like,
I'd love to see
woo-wee.
Skeens there, man.
Oh yeah, I don't know. This year, Skeen's been struggling.
It's early. So with baseball, this is kind of you can be eliminated by the playoffs in April, but you can't clinch them. If that makes any sense. So that's been kind of I've watched so much bad Royals baseball to where we're already out of. I know we're not technically out of contention, but it's one of those things where if you don't turn it around, this month can really screw a team.
Right. It sets you back to where you might not be able to catch up.
Right.
Now, here's my question for you. I mean, what is the biggest question mark you think that's facing the Royals right now heading into as this season's going underway?
Hitting kind of the bottom of the lineup. I think we got the starting pitching. We got good relievers. Urseg's one of the best closers in the league. He led the leagues in uh saves last year. So it's really the kind of that bottom lineup. You're going to see a lot of rotation kind of happening in that outfield and kind of finding, they picked up Sterling Marte right before the beginning of the season. So they're kind of it's does Caglione take that next step? That's really the big thing. So it's just and right now they're kind of limiting him to just right-handed hitters. So that's it. It's just kind of how the outfield performs because
Okay.
you're going to get your numbers from Bobby. Vinny's going to be a 35 home run guy. Salvy's going to put up 20 plus home runs. Does Carter Jensen take that next step like people think that he will as catcher? So it's really that. It's kind of how that bottom 6 through 10, if you can have a little bit better, at least 250, 270, 260, 270 batting average with those bottom that 6 through 10, 6 through 9. Sorry.
Right. Okay. And then looking at the Cardinals, I think the lineup has been the most fun on our end over here. The hitting is they just once again Mason Wynn got a walk off hit. JJ Weatherholt in his second career game had gotten a walk off hit. Like the Jordan Walker has extremely improved throughout spring training into the regular season. The biggest question mark, even the starters, it's a whole new rotation, but even the starters have been very solid. The bullpen, the bullpen, the bullpen, the bullpen. They got beaten up opening weekend by the Rays. And it wasn't pretty. One time the Cardinals were able to overcome it. The other time, not so much.
What was your guys' expectations going into this year? Are you guys thinking playoffs or are you just thinking development? Kind of
So
where's the Cardinals organization at
you
right
know
now?
what's funny? We're looking into it last year, or I'm sorry, last week. John Poe and I were on the show doing the preview, and we were talking about and we had so many people sending comments for predictions for the Cardinals. Most had them in the 70 to 75 range. I want to say that would be a good majority. I have them at about 8. I have them at 83 and 79 and possibly sneaking in to the wild card. But I'm in the position right now where if they make it, wow, exceeded expectations. They don't make it, no big deal. You got 9. This was an interesting stat. A couple days ago, it was the first time in franchise history the entire lineup was of guys drafted by the Cardinals. Now, in baseball, that is something.
That's unheard of.
Um, yeah. So it's a whole new team, like that's been brought up at different times together. You don't have that true long-term veteran leadership from a guy like Arenado or Contreras like you did in the past. So they did a complete overhaul. So expectations for top performance is low, but not in a negative way.
Right.
This
Well,
year,
it's just you. I would assume you guys have kind of started rebuilding your farm system, and now you guys are working through
yeah,
that. Kind
fans are
of
just wanting to see who we have for the years to come. They trust Bloom, and I think they're starting to trust Ollie more too. I think a lot of the problem was just you have that clear line of communication where when Mo was in charge, you had this, it was all zigzagged everywhere. You didn't know what was going on. It just seemed like a mess. Once again, there's just youth all over this team. The Cardinals are already talking about extending JJ Weatherholt. He's played 6 career MLB games. The Cardinals have never been the team to do that type of thing. So it's, and the Royals, I'm wondering what the expectations are on your guys' end, because once again, you have a lot of great young players, but you're also mixing it in with a blend of strong veteran leaders, both in the rotation and in the lineup.
Oh, the only but like it's playoffs this year. Like it was kind of playoffs last year. It was kind of be competitive. 2 years ago when they did make the playoffs, that was unexpected. So that was a jump a year earlier than we expected. But this year we got all of our arms back. We got the guy who got hurt, Bubich.
Oh yeah.
We got him back. So it's just like, was he the one who got hurt? I can't remember off the top of my head. But so, man, we're pitching wise, I think we're going to be one of the best teams in the MLB. So it's one of those things where I think this is a year the Royals could make a run for it. So this might be one of the first, definitely 90 wins.
90
which is
wins.
crazy. Which is crazy.
That would be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I was about to say, which is crazy to think, man, but I don't think it's too high of an expectation with kind of how this team has been built and kind of really, I know they didn't make the playoffs last year, but the success that they've had through the years and as coming up through the minor leagues together, and they still have, they have young guys coming in and Jensen and Caglione, just the 2 potential rookie of the year candidates. So the Royals are in a great spot. It's best spot they've been since they've won the World Series. I mean, that really is fine. Kind of how the roster is constructed. It's really the most anticipated season in a long time.
Okay. You know what? I have a lot of, so Royals Review had their predictions according to the readers on how many people, on the percentage, on how many wins they would get, obviously project how many wins the Royals would get this year. And they calculated percentage wise based on which, criteria. So 13.7. Oh, here, we'll start from the bottom. Less than 70 wins. This is not a sneak diss. This is just kind of how it was a lot. The Royals were known for that for a while. Less than 70 wins. The Royals, it was 0.4% of the vote. And let me put it on here to make it easier. Okay. So yes, I have it at 0.4% of the readers voted and predicted that the Royals would have less than 70 wins. 1.8% said either 70 to 74 wins or 70 to 79 wins. 13.7% said 80 to 84 wins. Now, ready for the big one?
Mm-hmm.
65.6% voted 85 to 89 wins this year for the Royals. And then 16.7% said more than 90.
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely in that 85.
That matches what you're saying. Playoffs or bust, basically.
Yeah, it matches that like that 80, 88 range. You know what I mean? But I think that they have the talent, as long as they don't go on any super long losing streak, because that's kind of been Royals. There's the last few years they'll have a 7-8 game losing streak, and then they're just kind of having to bounce back from that. So if they can avoid those long losing streaks, I think they can easily be a 90-win team.
I was going to say, and once again, I mean, they don't exactly play in the toughest division in baseball.
No,
You
no,
know, so it's
no.
a very attainable, feat for them. Um, so no, I definitely think the Royals have a very good shot of making it. Now, right now, before we wrap up, I will say the Royals are in the bottom of the third inning and they are winning 3-0 at home against the Minnesota Twins. So they're, hopefully they hold on, get a AL Central win right there. But go ahead,
I was about to say
Adam.
that's 2 wins pretty much. I was about to say anytime you can beat a divisional win or opponent, that's almost 1.5 wins.
I was gonna say, yeah, them divisional games, especially because of how the schedule's been adjusted these days to where you're playing every team in baseball. So you're playing less division games. You really need those divisional games more than ever.
Right. It's made them matter
So,
so much more.
yeah, makes it way more important. So, but with all that said, folks, we're going to wrap it up here at Roundabout Sports for episode 170. As always, I want to thank our sponsors, that being Crispy Clean, brush and junk removal and lawn care. For that, you dial 618-593-2997. That is Crispy Clean Lawn Care, Brush and Junk Removal, 618-593-2997. Also, I want to thank our sponsor, Harsh Construction LLC, your solutions to all of your harsh problems. Be sure to call for a free quote at 618-363-9818. 618-363-9818. Harsh Construction LLC, proud sponsor of Interstate 70 Sports Media. As always, once again, you can find us on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Pocket Cast, Amazon Music, and any and all other streaming platforms out there. Follow us on Facebook, X, and on the official Interstate 70 Sports Media YouTube channel. As always, we put up the NAMI helpline at the end of every show. And for that, you dial 1-800-950-NAMI. That is 1-800-950-NAMI. The National Alliance on Mental Illness is the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization dedicated to building better lives for those who struggle with mental health issues, as well as their families. And of course, we put up the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. And for that, you dial 988. The line is open 24/7, 365, 366 on leap years. Understand you're never alone in this world. There was always somebody who loves you, who cares about you, who wants nothing but the best for you. Your feelings matter, your emotions, your opinions matter. We all go through trials and tribulations on a daily basis, and that doesn't make anything any less valid. And we should make you feel less valid. You are just a phone call, a text message, an email, an appointment away from what could be that life-saving moment for you. And you could be the listening ears and watch eyes for somebody in need as well. Of course, I want to thank my dear friend Adam Frecks, as always, for being the man he is, the awesome guy he is, and the awesome host he is alongside me. So I look forward to it next time right here on Roundabout Sports. But until then, always remember, folks, life is a book full of empty pages just waiting to be written in. Make your lives worth reading. This is the Maestro Jeremy Karp signing off, folks. Until next time. Good night, everybody.